I walked out of my dad's wedding because he proposed to another woman using my dead mom's ring. My mom was diagnosed with cancer when I was 9. She fought it for 2 years. I watched her lose her hair, her weight, her ability to walk me to school, but she never lost her smile. Even in the hospital bed at the end, she held my hand and told me, "You're going to be okay, baby." She died 3 days after my 11th birthday. Dad grieved hard. He stopped going to work for 2 months. He slept in mom's clothes. He kept everything she ever touched exactly where she left it. Then he met Diane. She was a nurse at the hospital where mom died. Dad said they connected over shared loss. He started seeing her 8 months after mom's funeral. I was 12 years old, and I could already feel my mom being pushed out of her own house. It started small. Diane's jacket on mom's hook by the door. Diane's mug in mom's spot. Diane's shampoo next to where mom's used to be. Then it got bigger. Dad moved mom's urn from the living room mantel to a shelf in the garage because Diane said it made her uncomfortable to eat dinner with remains in the room. I found my mother sitting between a box of Christmas lights and a broken vacuum cleaner. I carried that urn to my bedroom and told Dad if he touched it, I would never speak to him again. He told me I was being dramatic and that mom would want him to be happy. Everyone always knows what dead people would have wanted. It's convenient when they can't argue back. When I was 13, Diane moved in and brought her son, Caleb, who was 8. Dad gave Caleb my mom's craft room. The room where she painted with me every Sunday morning was now covered in some kids' superhero posters. Dad told me to treat Caleb like a brother. I told him I already lost my family once. I wasn't interested in a replacement set. That's when the fighting really started. Dad and Diane sat me down every week for family meetings, where they'd tell me I was being hostile and making everyone uncomfortable. I told them the only person who made me miserable was the one who forgot my mom existed. Diane once grabbed my arm in the kitchen and said, "Your mother is gone, and you need to accept that I'm here now." I looked her dead in the eyes and said, "You're a guest in my mother's house. Don't ever touch me again." Dad grounded me for 3 weeks for that. When I was 14, I found out Dad was planning to propose to Diane. I found the ring box in his closet drawer. When I opened it, my entire body went cold. It was my mom's ring, the engagement ring my mom wore for 15 years. The ring Dad slid onto her finger when he promised her forever. He was going to put it on Diane's hand like it was jewelry collecting dust. I confronted him that night. I was shaking so hard I could barely speak. He said he wasn't wasting money on a new ring when a perfectly good one was available. He called my mother's ring available. I begged him not to do it. I got on my knees and cried and begged him to at least let me keep mom's ring. I told him he could buy any other ring in the world, but please, not that one. He told me I was too young to understand adult decisions and proposed to Diane that weekend. She said yes, wearing my dead mother's ring, and posted it online with a heart emoji. I didn't speak to anyone in that house for 4 months. The wedding was set for the summer I turned 16. Dad told me I was going to be there, and I was going to smile. He bought me a suit. He said I'd regret it forever if I didn't show up. So, I went. I sat in the front row and watched Diane walk down the aisle. I watched Dad's face light up the way it used to when Mom walked into a room. I watched him hold her hands at the altar. Then the officiant said, "Do you take this woman to be your wife?" Dad said, "I do." And I stood up and walked out. Not running, not dramatic. I just stood up, buttoned my jacket, and walked out of the church in complete silence. Every person in that room watched me leave. Dad found me in the parking lot 20 minutes later, still in his tux, face red, voice cracking. He said, "How could you embarrass me on the most important day of my life?" I looked at him and said, "Mom's funeral was supposed to be the worst day of your life, but you turned it into a starting line." He didn't say a word. Now Diane's family calls me ungrateful. Dad's friends say I ruined his day. My grandparents tell me I need to let it go and grow up, but I'm the only person in this family who still visits my mom's grave on her birthday, and her ring is on a stranger's hand, because my dad decided forever had an expiration date.